Hey guys, it's Saturday, March 24th, and we've got the last game in the series of a game a day during, I guess, what was my spring break. And over here we have Clash Imagine. I just picked up a random game for this one versus Soccer. I'm not too sure about these two players. However, I see Korean font inside of the spectator chat, so I do assume that they're pretty good. This is Zelnaga Fortress. We haven't looked at this map in a while. It does have this watchtower inside the center of the map, and it does expire. So this Zelnaga tower, it's slowly breaking down throughout the entire game. Eventually, because no one's there to save it, no one's there to refurbish it, it does stop working. So it's a very interesting feature of this map. So as the game goes on, you have more and more units. I guess the map creator expects you to be able to cover more ground with your units to get that vision instead of relying on that center Zelnaga watchtower. Of course, this is a PvP, so it's likely that we will see 4-gate out of one player at least, or perhaps both players going for 3-gate robo with the blink play. So those are all possibilities here. And especially on this map with so much coverage area for those blink stalkers to just hop inside of the main, and if you get an expansion, you could get hit over here, and then the blink stalkers quickly come over here. It's a lot of trouble to deal with, so it's something that both players have to watch out for. And hopefully this will be an interesting game. Of course, I don't preview the games that I decide to cast. That's something that you guys know. Or most of you guys know, so sometimes the game isn't so interesting, pretty one-sided. Both players are scouting throughout the map right now. There's the Zelnaga watchtower lifting up. It's still slowly breaking down there. The probes are not interested in actually fixing that watchtower, even though it may be beneficial later on. So there's the Nexus over here for Soccer. He does stop chrono boosting probes because he will be chrono boosting his cybernetics core to get out that warp gate tech as quickly as possible. And it looks like he's gonna reveal a second gas, and this does tell us that he may be going for some sort of tech path. And there's Clash Imagine, he's getting a second gas as well. Definitely gonna be going for some sort of tech, and chrono boost going down on that first stalker, as well as the warp gate tech. Warp gate tech over here being chrono boosted by Soccer as well, and he is mining only with 2 guys in each gas right now. So I guess he wants to get more gas, but a slightly more efficient gas mining. There's Soccer backing up with that one probe. It will take a couple of hits from that first stalker, but Clash Imagine will not be able to kill off that first probe. And there's the pylon getting constructed by Clash Imagine. He does trap one of the probes from mining, and it looks like it does get stuck in there, and it will stop mining for the moment. And oh no, Soccer going for, well, 4-gate. He does have stalkers continuing to pop out, and because he does have these 2 gases, I believe he will be able to continuously make stalkers instead of having to mix in any sort of zealots. So there's the 2 additional gateways on the way for Clash Imagine. And over here, the warp gate tech is about to finish for Clash Imagine as well. Proxy pylons getting planted by Soccer. Is there a path over here? Yeah, there's a path up to the north side over here. And Clash Imagine going to be sitting on his ramp. One stalker is going to poke forward. It sees those 2 stalkers and will quickly back up. And what Clash Imagine really needs is a couple of sentries, or else this could be devastating right now. And the Soccer is beginning to warp in pylons closer and closer. There's the first sentry. He needs to drop a perfect force field, or this game is over. There's the force field going down. Soccer is trying to squeeze up there. Looks like the probe will make its way into the main, but it will get trapped up there and get killed off. And Soccer continuing to try to push up here. He loses a stalker, 2 stalkers. That's actually a really big problem for Soccer. His push is going to be really far weakened. And there's a robotics facility finishing up for Clash Imagine, and he just needs to keep force fielding all of those stalkers out of his main. And back at home, Soccer is resuming production of probes He needs to get up some tech for himself as well. And there's a proxy pylon over here for Clash Imagine. We may see a couple of warp-ins, and there's one zealot inside of the main of Clash Imagine already. A pylon does go down. The force shields up at the front will prevent those stalkers from coming up here, and it looks like Stalker is going to be forced to back up with the lower stalker count. It will take a little bit of damage. He loses 2 stalkers again. And this definitely gives Clash Imagine the upper hand in this case. He can actually push and do some damage right now. And his that one pylon actually forced Stalker to warp in a bunch of units back at home, continuing to chase these stalkers all the way home, doing some hull damage as well. Another pylon will fall, and Clash Imagine is going to be really far ahead after all of this. He's getting up his well, I thought he was going to get up his Colossus Den, but guess not. Blink is on the way for Clash Imagine. I guess that's why he doesn't have a Colossus Den. That completely makes sense. And over here, Soccer is trying to catch up with a robotics facility of his own, as well as the Twilight Council. But this is troublesome because Clash Imagine will have that blink before Soccer does. And if Soccer decides to go for the exact same thing, this could be really problematic, especially with all of those stalkers getting picked off at the beginning of the game. A couple of stalkers advancing across the field right now. The one observer getting out of there. And the first observer will pop out for Soccer, but this could be the wrong choice, especially with Clash Imagine coming across the field. And the robotics bay is also on the way. Actually, I thought that was a Twilight. You know what? I'm going insane. I guess I thought that was a Twilight Council. Maybe canceled it under my eyes and I didn't notice. That could be problematic as well. And over here, our blue Protoss player now moving up to his pylon, and that one observer may get picked off. Another observer going to be chasing after it. 2 observers on the field for Clash Imagine, and that blink forward. There's the another observer on the way for Soccer. He's got an Immortal out on the field as well. And here comes Clash Imagine, going to be trying to come up this ramp. He could maybe actually blink up there and try to do some damage, but it looks like he's not going to be risky with his very strong advantage. He's going to go ahead and drop an expansion. He's going to continue to try to push up here. Force shields will go down. He's going to trap a couple of zealots as well as force a couple of those units back. Looks like a clutch force shield from Soccer will prevent the units from running up here. More Colossus on the way for Soccer. I actually wanted to say Immortals, and there's the robotics bay on the way for Clash Imagine. He just needs to be careful of a huge one-base timing with a huge warp-in as well as this one Colossus. Colossus are just so good against gateway units. This could be troublesome for Clash Imagine, and it looks like a bunch of zealots being warped in over here for Soccer. He's trying to target down a couple of these probes. That means he does see the natural expansion, and this will trigger a push right now. Soccer is going to be moving across the field with his one Colossus, a couple of zealots, as well as that one Immortal. He will clean up one pylon over here, and this will supply block Clash Imagine, actually, for just a split second. The Stalkers moving about the field, trying to pick off any additional pylons. He does miss that one pylon down at the bottom over there. Clash Imagine now transferring a couple of probes. What he just needs to do is continue to warp in units as well as produce Colossi. Continue to chrono boost those units out. He's got the extended thermal lance on the way as well. Colossus going to be popping out real soon, and this might be just in time to fend off this push. It's going to be really close. That one Colossus entering the field, and here comes Soccer with his army, and I think his army is actually slightly smaller as of this point, so Soccer is going to be fighting an uphill battle. He needs to get those force shields perfectly, and also try to pick off that Colossus early on in the game, or at least pick off this natural expansion. It looks like Clash Imagine just waiting for as many units as possible. He's going to be trying to engage this in the best possible concave. More force fields going down right now.